Violet Parma. It's afterward, and the boat hook man has left. Mr. Mollusk has left too, but not without saying, "Just wait till Lady Kraken hears about this." I pick up a piece of wreckage from the floor. It's a part of the trunk. I'm going to miss that old thing. It's been here for as long as I can remember. Probably no one would have come back for it now. But still, I hate things to be lost permanently like that. "Hello," I say, as loudly as I dare, looking around. "Are you there?" Silence. I make my way to the window. I should close it. It's freezing in here now, but I decide to leave it open. Just a sliver. The snow outside has been replaced by a creeping sea mist, which glides past the window in upright wisps, like ghosts. She's well and truly gone, and who can blame her? But I put the woolly hat on the windowsill where it can be seen, just in case. I start to tidy up. But it's a gloomy business seeing all the poor lost things flung around, and soon I slump down all in my armchair in a grump. It's too late to do the job properly now anyway. I look at the little window of my wood burner. I see that my first log flaming merrily. Part of the deal is being lost and found at this place is that I get my own stove and a few logs a day. Mr. Mulks hates this, of course, because he has to lump it, because that's how it was when Lady Kraken took over the hotel, and that's how it will always be, I guess. She says it's to make sure that lost things are dry and ready to be collected, as good as they were found. And it means I'm pretty cozy down here over winter, and the fire in the littered window is cheery, relaxing. And "Are you going to sleep there all night?" says a voice, and I starts awake. The girl is sitting on the other side of the wood burner, the woolly hat in her hands. She raises an eyebrow. I probably look ridiculous as I try to straighten my cap. The elastic has caught round my ear. "How long have you been here?" I say, noticing that cellar window is now tight shut. The girl shrugs, and I get my first proper look at her. She has dark brown eyes and in a light brown face, and a mass of curly hair, which is barely under control. She's probably about the same age as me, so 12-ish, though since my own age is pretty ishy, it's hard to be sure. Her bright eyes are quick and amused as she watches me try to suss her out. She's wearing a too big coat, and I recognize it as one of my lostlings. Her shoes are her own, but they clearly aren't any good for winter and are wet through. I see that the fire has burnt low, so I shove another log in. "Are you I begin, but she shakes her head, so I try again. "What about but she just laughs. "No, none of those," she says. "I'm not a thief, and I'm certainly not a guest at this hotel." I probably look a bit confused because she smiles. "I know who you are," she says. "You're Halbert Lemon, the famous lost and found at the Grand Nautilus Hotel." "Famous?" "Well, famous to me. I've come hundreds of miles just to see you, Halbert." "Herbie," I say, finally giving up with the cap and taking it all off altogether, "because I think you are the only person in the world who can help me." "Really?" I say, scratching my hand. "How come?" "Because I'm lost, and I like to be found." There are many strange stories about the Grand Nautilus Hotel, but there's one in particular that I should tell you now. It happened 12 years ago, which is a few years before I came here myself, so I'm not exactly a witness. It's the story of a baby found abandoned in the hotel, of the parents completely vanished, of strange strange lights seen by the shore, of the police swarming everywhere, the searching high and low. Two pairs of shoes belonging to a man and a woman discovered, left neatly on the harbor wall, along the footprints in the sand leading from the harbor wall to the sea. It's a sad story. Other prints were in the sand too, funny-shaped markings as if someone with flippers had dragged itself out of the water, but the tides came in before anyone could photograph them properly, and that part of the story was left out of the papers. In fact, all of this is hardly a story at all now, more a legend. The lost that found her before me was a briefly involved, but a baby isn't exactly something you can tag and shelve in a hotel cellar. So she got taken away and was never heard of again until now. Okay, I'm going to stop you right there, says the girl, because I think I can see where this is going. Even if you are this legendary lost baby all grown up, I really don't see how I can help. I just do lost things, not lost persons. You need a detective or something. But isn't it your job to find the owners of lost things? How do you do that? Well, sometimes there are clues, she said. You're a detective. I'm just another clue. I sit back in my chair and fold my arms. That's not how it works. When I say clues, I mean labels and name tags. I mean when someone scratches their phone. When someone scratches their phone number on the underside of their suitcase. Do you have a phone number scratch on your underside? No? Well, then, but I do have this, says the girl. She reaches into her ratty pullover and pulls out a folded postcard that she's wearing on a ribbon around her neck. She takes it off and hands it to me. On one side is a picture of a monkey wearing a top hat. Or is it chimp? Either way, it's not your regular monkey or chimp. It's has the lower body of a fish. Printed on the back is a series of letters and numbers. I glance at the girl because this is something I recognize, but I'm not ready to tell that her yet, in case it sets off the whole detective thing again. It was my cot, says the girl, when they found me 12 years ago in one of the rooms of this hotel. Surely you know something about Herbert. Seriously, call me Herbie, I say, handing the card back. Only Mr. Mollusk call me Herbert. Who's Mr. Mollusk? He's the horrible man who will kick you out into the snow when he finds you down there. And me too, probably. Don't you mean if he finds me? He's already nearly found you once, and thanks to you, my cellar was trashed by a hideous man with the hook for a hat. So I'm sticking with when thanks. She looks crestfallen. So you won't take my case? 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 I shake my head in disbelief. The only cases down here are the unwashed pants in them. You can't stay here tonight. It's freezing outside. She beams. But I don't take cases. And I don't see how I can help you. My name is Violet, by the way, she says, grabbing my hand and waggling it up and down. Violet Parma. And I just know that if anyone can help me, Herbie, it's you. It's as if she hasn't been listening to a word I said. I watch as she slips off her ridiculously flimsy shoes and props by the fire. Outside, the snow has stopped and ice has bloomed across the window. I want to ask about Boat Hook Man. I want to ask her where she's been all these years. Then wonder if she's hungry. This Violet Parma, by the time I open my mouth to ask, she's already asleep on a pile of coats. I'm just thinking I should maybe crash out myself. I have a foldaway bed down there, and when there's a loud ting-ting from up at my desk, it's so unexpected at this time of night that I almost jump out of my skin. I tiptoe up to my cubbyhole, but there's no one there. On the counter is a folded note addressed to the lost and founder of the Grand Nautilus Hotel, or in other words, to me. I open the note. Dear Hilbert Lemon, please come to my rooms immediately. Yeah, yours sincerely, Lady Kraken. I do a gulp. I can't help it. Lady Kraken summons no one to her presence lightly. The hotel runs like a veritable, well-greased machine with old mollusk supplying all the grease needed and then some. Every cog in that machine, from the manager himself to the cog from the most rabbit-eyed chambermaid, knows its place and turns out correctly around its particular duty or gets removed. Just wait till Lady Kraken hears about this, Mr. Mollusk said earlier. Well, it looks like she already has. My hand is wobbling slightly as I put the closed sign up on my counter. I glance across reception, empty this late at night, and I catch sight of myself in one of the ancient mirrors. I tuck straight in front of my uniform, royal porpoise blue with double row of brass buttons, and tuck as many of my scrappy blonde tufts under my cap as I can. I try not to think this might be the last time I get to wear it. Then I set off to the hotel's stately brass elevator.